Hi there, today we're going to make a gnome ornament using our paper flower petals. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So you do need some fabric, so I'm using scrap fabric that I have from other Christmas projects. You need some ribbon. I'm using 3/8 inch wide, which is about average for the smaller ribbons, and these are from Michaels. I'm using a 2-inch styrofoam ball. So I know Dollar Trees, I think theirs are 1.9 inches, which would be fine. I'm using an ornament hook from Dollar Tree, a 3/8, oops, that's rolling away, a 3/8 inch wood bead. And I had these in my stash, so whatever size you have will work fine, or it's approximately 10 millimeters. I mean, that's roughly measuring it, so 3/8 to a half an inch. So you need some wire cutters for our hook, or you can use actually scissors. We will need some scissors, our metal ball stylus tools, our flower shaping mat, and a small wood dowel. So I'm going to set all those to the side. And the first thing you want to do is create your hat, and that will allow the glue to dry. So what we're going to do is you're going to cut a rectangle. It's 4.5 inches high by 5 inches wide. Then you're going to measure 2.5 inches over to the center of the rectangle, and you're going to connect the lines to create a triangle. Now, if you have a cutting machine, you can simply create a triangle, cut it out at 5 inches wide, and you will have to unlock it and make it 4.5 inches high. So, I mean, that's also an option. And then you're going to cut out your triangle. And then the optional item is to curve the bottom, which I found I like that look a little bit better. Now you can use a circle tool, a plate, whatever you have. Now I do have this from my drafting days in college many moons ago, or you can actually purchase these, and I think Dollar Tree even has them. So they're bending to make any shape that you want. And all I did was create a nice little shape. You could measure up to make it even. I didn't. I just kind of eyeballed it. And then you draw your line following the curve and then cut it off. And then I created one to use for creating additional ones. So I'm just going to cut off the bottom here and to make it a little rounded. So it's just a little bit of a curve. You can do a little bit more. I didn't worry too much about it. I tried many different sizes, so I found this size works the best. So now we're going to take a piece of fabric. And you want the pattern on the inside. So I'm going to just square this off a little. Again, I have these from other projects. And I don't even know, I don't think this is big enough. This is like a flannel-y material. I might need to get a bigger piece. Yep. All right, so we want to make sure the pattern's on the inside. Again, I am not a sewer. It did take me like 5 different tries to figure out a good pattern, and now it's working well. So You can iron it if you choose to do so. I'm not going to worry about it. Make sure I can just get a few of them out of this. All right, I'm just going to place it here, and I'm going to use a Sharpie to trace it. And this is why I cut it onto 110-pound cardstock, so I can reuse it. So we have it folded over, so we have two pieces. And then you can see I have my little bit of directions on here just for my own sake. So if you wanted to write your directions on there as well. So now we're just going to cut it out. I'm not even pinning it. Just follow your lines. And now we're going to cut along our curve at the bottom. Okay, so now that you have that, we're going to now leave it here at the bottom, and we're going to glue our edges up so we have a nice clean edge. So I'm just going to turn it on its side because it's easier for me. Now beware, hot glue is hot. Add some glue along the edge. And we're going to then fold them up. And I found doing this step first worked out well. Again, just follow along the edge. And if you need to add more glue then because it dried till you got to the other side, that's okay. Okay. Flip it over. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Add some hot glue along the bottom. Watch your fingers. And just glue it up. So it's giving it a nice clean edge for around the face. Now if you want to, we can cut off the points a little. Okay. And now we're going to glue down the sides. So just fold it over a little, and now the glue is being placed on the right side of the fabric, the actual pattern side. Or if you're using solid, it would be the front of the fabric. So fleece would work out well. And now we're just going to press it down. And we're doing this first to allow it to dry. We're not gluing the bottom because that's where we're putting around our styrofoam ball. Fold it back again. And we're adding our glue right along the edge. And get it up to the top as far as you can. And then press. And then we're just going to set that to the side. And now our hat is basically made. And now we're going to add our ribbon. So we're going to cut a piece of ribbon that's 9 inches long. So, I mean, I have the grid here in my background, but we're going to just measure approximately 9 inches and cut. And then you're done with the ribbon. or the roll of ribbon, excuse me. And now we're going to glue the ribbon on. So create a loop. And use whatever color that you want. And we're going to add a line of glue. Kind of right in the middle of the styrofoam ball. So I like to add one. Oops. And create my loop. This time my glue got everywhere. And then I like to double secure it. Is taking your ornament hook, and I just bend it out. It's almost like the wreath fabric hooks that you can use, which you can use, but we're just creating our own. So we're going to take our wire cutters and just cut it a little bit smaller. I just want to make sure it's doubly secure. And it's just going to go into the styrofoam ball. So place one side in and the other side on the other side of the fabric. And it's basically holding the fabric in its place, and press it into the styrofoam ball. That way you're double securing. I'll just add a little bit more glue to glue that down, or you can cut it off, it didn't matter. Okay, so now we have our hook, as you can see here. And now we're going to draw a line. So I'm going to continue with my Sharpie, and we want to go about halfway down. So if this is your top, draw it around. It's not perfect, it's just your guideline. And sometimes I go lower or higher. Okay, so that's my guideline. So we're going to take, you're going to cut some of it from the Christmas flower, mini flower bundle. I cut quite a few of them at 5 inches wide. So we're just going to take 2 of them. And we're going to cut the petals off. So just go around. Oops. And now we're going to take our flower shaping mat. And our second to smallest ball, our metal ball stylus tool. So this one's the smallest one, this is the second one. So we're going to use that one, and we're going to style them kind of like how we style a leaf. So you're just going to line them up. And I'm going to use this one. And basically I'm just going to color down each side. And then sometimes I do a line. So it gives it the styling of a leaf, and it kind of curls the petals. So again, just color down the side so you're doing lines in towards the center. Now come down the other side or go up, it doesn't matter. And it's shaping the petal basically. We're going to continue doing this for all 12 petals. Now you don't need all of them, so I do have some left over from previously, from the other 2 gnomes I made. And again, each one will be different with their personality, depending on what fabric you use, how you decorate them, if you decorate them at all, or you can keep it super simple. Okay, so now that we have the 5-inch ones, well, the petal's not 5-inch, but the overall size width of the petal is 5 inches. We're going to glue around our ball. And I'm going to put glue on the entire petal. Kind of hiding the styrofoam and also giving him like hair all the way around. So our guideline is our line. So the first one I usually put right in the center there, and then you can just curl it down. Add glue to our next one. Normally it takes about 7. And this one is the feather pattern from the Christmas mini flower bundle. So you can see my lines aren't perfect. It goes up and down. It's just kind of a guideline for you. No matter what, he turns out adorable. So again, go over to your line. You're overlapping the last petal, so you can see what's happening. It's almost like giving him the start of his hair or beard. Okay, now coming down. We're just adding glue to the entire petal. I don't worry too much about the little feathered edges because it's supposed to be hair. Again, you're overlapping the previous. So right now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, and 2 more will cover it. So it is 7 petals. Okay. Now it's all covered, or the bottom half that we see. And now we're going to create his beard. So we're going to use 3 more petals. We're going to keep them rolled under, and these were all rolled under as you saw. So we're going to create the shape of the beard. So the first one we're going to add is going to be lower. So you don't want to put glue on the entire petal, so flip it over. So now my edges are curled up slightly. I'm just going to do it right here on the top. So I want to make sure I'm in the middle, and we're going to come down. And this is just to create the shape of them. So again, you just need it right on the top portion. So here's our center one, here's the center, and now we're going to come up a little. So it's creating that shape. So you can see our shape is starting to take form. Now we're going to add our nose. Oops. Make sure it doesn't roll away. And you're going to keep the holes at the top and the bottom because we're going to cover the bottom with the paper. Okay. So I just like to add the glue right on to the paper. Oops. Oh God. Make sure my So I added a dab of glue there, and now we're turning it on its side. And I just went into my stash and found these. Now these are shiny beads, wood beads, where you can do the unfinished look. I have no idea what they were from. Oh my God, he's so cute. So he's coming. His personality's starting to take shape. So now we're going to go to 3-inch wide petals. So we cut some of the feather petals at 5 inches, 4 inches wide, 3 inches wide, and 2 inches wide. So this is the 4-inch. I have my stack of 2-inch. And again, I just cut a whole bunch of them. And now here's my 3-inch. So we're going to cut 2 of them. So to stack them. So again, it's 3 inches wide. And we're going to cut the petals off. So I like to use the smaller precision scissors so you can get in there. You can do all the styling of the petals at once, but I'm just showing you as we make it. It makes it easier. You can cut a whole bunch of them, style them, and then just crank out the gnomes. Okay, so now we're going to take the smaller tool, metal ball stylus tool, and we're going to do the exact same thing. So I like our cut edge to be at the top. And I am going to use a smaller one, and we're going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to draw the lines, basically coloring it. So I come down one side and then I just come up the other. So it's just creating that shape. And we're just going to do all the petals right now, just so we have them ready to go. It doesn't take too long. Okay. So now we're going to create his beard a little bit more. And what you can do is, to give it a little bit of shape, stack a few of them and use your dowel rod. I use a very small one. And just curl them around slightly. You don't want it a super curl, tight curl. So keep the flat edge at the bottom, place your dowel rod down in the middle, and just curl up and around a little. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out a little. And now we're going to build the beard, like I said. And now these are going to be, instead of where we were gluing them under, we're going to leave them curled up. So the sides are curled towards you. So flip it over a little. And again, we're only putting it right at the top. So I start down in the center here. So we're going to build his beard. And it's however you want to do it. I start with one on the bottom, and then it usually goes to 2 to 3, depending. And then you can come back and fill it in. We just want to keep that shape that we created with our larger petals. And just keep it kind of in the center. So you add the glue at the top. Now they're stuck together. You want to keep the top part kind of flat to make it easier to glue on. If it's not perfect, don't worry about it. Like, I seem to be shifted over a little bit more, so we can fill it in then. Normally I can do, it's 1 and then 2 and then 3, 4, etc. I might stick that one in there now. And I am using Gorilla Glue. Well, it feels like it needs one. Always when I'm filming, it never goes right. Okay. I'm trying to place them in between the previous layer's petals. And now for the center one, we're going to bend this one forward a little to make a little bit of a flap, because that's what I'm going to glue to my bead. Because I want to cover that hole underneath. Okay, I think that's good for now. We'll see where we need to fill in a little bit later. And now we're going to use our 2-inch petals, and we're going to create the mustache here. So we're going to do the exact same thing. I like to keep everything lined up. So you need 3 for each side and then 2 for underneath. So I'll be good with these 2, and then I'm going to cut off each of these. Careful not to poke yourself like I did. I think that just adds a little bit extra to create his mustache. And now we're going to take our smallest petal, our design, our metal ball stylus. Oh my goodness. And again, we're going to come down the one side and go up the other. So you're only, when you're going with your lines, you're only going in halfway into the petal. One more. Okay. Now we're going to take a really thin dowel rod. You could use a toothpick, whatever you have in your stash, just so it's round, the end of a paintbrush, and roll these a little bit. Kind of pinch it around. And you can see the other 2, I already have those rolled. Okay. Now he is round, so he will move. And we're going to create the mustache. So we're going to take one. We're going to go from the nose, and we're going to go out a little bit. And then press. So these are going horizontal, as you can see. Then we're going to take another one. And I'm only adding it maybe on half of the petal. Flip it over. These are also curled up for hair. And I'm going to go right up to the edge of the bead and go in at an angle. Now this one you don't see as much because of the hat, but I still add it. So once you have one of these made, they do go much faster. Then go in at an angle, and if your paper from your nose one, just bend it around. And then that one will come down at an angle. So So you can see we did one further out, one at the top, and one at the bottom. Okay, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the right side. Just watch your fingers, hot glue burns. Again, go straight out from the nose, maybe a 1/4 of an inch-ish. And that one's just going directly horizontal. And press. So kind of we're always being lined up in the center here. And by rolling the petals up, it's giving it some texture, and this type of petal from the Christmas mini flower bundle being a featherish design, it just makes it really look like hair. And now we go in at an angle to the bead, and it's pointing up. Just make sure it's adhering. Okay, and we're adding our glue. And we're coming in at an angle and going down. So then I like to add 2 more right under his nose. I'm going right up to the edge. So now you can see, do you need any other ones? So mine, I feel like I need some. So I'm just going to fill some in. I'm using the 3-inch petals, the 3-inch wide petals that we cut off. Kind of make sure it has that pointed V. So I feel better with that one, like it's like his hair is curling up. We're going to let it go for right now, and now we're going to take our 4-inch wide petals and we're going to go around the back side and we're going to fill it in. So I have some cut off from previously, so I'm only going to cut off 1 more petal. And again, this is going to give the illusion of hair, so we needed a 2nd layer, and I like to add that after I do the beard. So we're going to go ahead and style these like we did before. So I'm going to use the 2nd smallest, come down the one side and up the other. Oh. We should probably only need 6 or 7. Because when we did the 5-inch ones, those we needed 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll do 7, and we'll see how many we need. And I keep the ones I cut off stacked right on top of my extra petals. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. Well, let's see. I'm going to start here. Oh, we probably need 1 there. Where was the 3? I'm going to cut one off of the 3 because I see a spot. That'll bother me. And believe me, I could play around with the beard and all that all day long. Alright, so turn it on its side, and now we're going to start gluing. Now here you don't want to glue all the way down the petal again. The only ones that you glue all the way down the petal are our original ones. And we're going to come down a little bit and go in between. Okay, so we're just kind of filling it in so you don't really see the shape of the ball. 2, this is 3. And these are rolled under again. Sorry if I forgot to tell you that. So that was 5 of them. I think we can add one. Yeah. So 5 to 6, depending on where you started. I feel like he needs one over there. Told you I could do this all day. Maybe not. Yeah, let's let it go right now. Okay. Alright, so now that we have his beard all ready to go, we're going to add his hat. So it's all dried, so now we're going to turn it inside out so you don't see our seams. And we're going to cut off a little bit of those. How cute. Okay, so with our seams on either side, I'm going to pinch one of the sides. So I'm going to pinch my two seams together. So you can see the seams are on the side. And I'm going to cut a small slit near the top in the back here. Oops, he's rolling away. So when you open it, you have a slit. And what we're going to do then is pull our ribbon through. Probably the hardest part. So if you see me struggle or have to pull off camera, it's like dressing him for school or something. Make sure the slit is in the back. Make sure it's pulled all the way through. Now you could, if you wanted to, make sure that those stay outside. That's fine. You could bend them forward a little. So play around where you want it, but I want to cover that bead. So the first thing we need to do, we're going to make sure it's even so everything's down the center. I'm going to add glue to the bead and a little bit over here because I need the rim to come down over it. So just watch your fingers. Oh, like I didn't do. Get that fabric on that bead and then pinch around the nose. Because you want to hide where we had the circle, like the bead hole. And you can also add glue right in the corner here to make sure it adheres in the corner. This guy is rolling away, naughty. But you can use, again, any fabric that you have. Now we're just going to go around and glue everything. So I just kind of put my glue gun underneath. And I want to make sure the styrofoam is all hidden. And anywhere that you cut in the sides, make sure that's glued down really good. I'm gonna come over to the, all right, he should be good. Again, you're just gonna come all the way around the edge. I'm just putting my glue gun nozzle down. So you want to have a nice clean edge for everything, especially if you're going to sell them. Then we're just going to double check here. I think we're okay. So you can leave him like that, and this is where you can fill in Do you feel like you need any mustache ones? Did they get smushed? You can fill in with whatever size petals that you need. Usually I fill in with the two, like the smaller 2-inch and the 3-inch overall size of the petals that we cut. Again, when I'm saying 2-inch, I mean the original petals of the flower was 2 inches. Again, I'm just going around and checking to make sure, do I need... I feel like his mustache was smushed there. Okay. And every one will be different depending on the fabric again that you use. The ribbon that you use. How you decorate it. Each one gets different for me. I don't remember where I put that. There we go. How stinking cute is he? So now, like this one, he has a little bit wider beard. Everyone's different. All right, so lastly is, do you want to add any holly? You can add a Pom Pom. Now, this hat was different. This was my sample one that I made, and I accidentally did the ribbon cutting in the front. And also what you can do in the back here is add a little bit of glue to the flap. Just be super careful. We're going to tuck that under. And just double check to make sure everything is glued down. So probably not as fast as your regular gnomes, but using our tool as paper florist gives it such a unique look. You can also stuff it if you needed to, but with this fabric being like a flannel, soft flannel, it does stay really well. Okay, we're gonna let it go. Again, you can add the Pom Pom. We did holly here. The holly was from the same Christmas mini flower bundle. And I just cut some different width petals. So, like that one's, I think, the 2-inch or 2.5 maybe. I'll look in the project, but look at the instructions. I just cut off 2 petals. We use our metal ball stylus tool. Like, do you like him with the holly? You can use any of the other Christmas greens that we have in the Christmas leaf bundle. I keep mine all cut in the plastic bags. If you just want to add that and maybe trying to find a super small pine cone. Yeah, I don't like that. You can keep it super rustic. Do we keep him plain or not? Decisions. I'm checking all my berries. Maybe we do that's kind of cute. So maybe if we add, I'm going to cut off a little bit of this green. Probably add another one. This is the fun part, I find, but then I also take a lot of time doing this part. I'm going to do it the opposite direction. So I'm using two different color greens. We're going to cut off a little bit. I like to style them just by using your fingers. So this is from the Christmas leaf bundle. To show different, oops, I did it the wrong way. Yeah, I want to do it this way. Okay. How you can decorate them differently or just leave them plain. Keep it for a simple look. And then the other options are with the mini vase fillers from Dollar Tree. But for this one, I'm going to do the natural berry. And this was from Hobby Lobby last year. Get your glue strings, and oh, how stinking cute is he. Thanks for watching.